Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, February 4th, 9:23 a.m. Central Standard Time, 47 degrees in beautiful Dallas, Texas today. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check these out live on playback.tv/slightlybiased, where we have passed the 600 member threshold. Wow. 600 members. Okay, let's get to 200,000. Can we get to 200,000 by the end of the month? Is that possible? Can we get to 200,000? It's up. Hey, it's possible. If you're watching this on playback.tv/slightlybiased, you can check this out on the Slightly Biased Clips channel after the live ends. Okay. I mean, let's just get right into it. I'm hanging out with chat today. Usually I like to keep the conversation on these streams centered around just the NBA in general. Don't usually like to focus on one specific team unless something crazy happened, or focus on the Mavericks because I feel like I already spent so much time talking about them already. What do you really need me to say? But things are starting to get a little bleak, especially amongst the fandom. The depression's at an all-time high. The enjoyment, I think, is at an all-time low. Just the anticipation and excitement for the Mavericks basketball feels lower than it maybe ever has been. Last year was bleak as well. I mean, what do we think? I think last year was the bleakest, honestly, but this year could get there. Because now, like I've said before, like when healthy, this team shows signs of life, and when healthy, this team is most certainly better than it was a year ago. I don't know how you can watch what we've seen when Luka, Kyrie, and Lively are on the floor together and not come to that conclusion. But there's a lot of analytics at this point and a lot of stats that point towards this team actually being a worse basketball team than they were a season ago. Their net rating right now over the course of the season is minus 0.2. So they are they're in the minus when it comes to their net rating. Their expected wins per 82 games on cleaning the glass with that net rating is 40, which was a game worse than last year in their expected wins. So again, by a lot of statistical analytics, this team is actually worse than they were a year ago. Now, I mean, look, it's a convenient excuse, and nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear you say it. It's an easy cop-out. But look, it is true that injuries have played a massive, massive part in this season. Here's the problem, though. You traded for a guy who has been consistently injured in Kyrie Irving. He has missed over half the games this season. Luka, Kyrie, and Derek Lively as a trio. This is your starting point guard, your starting shooting guard, and your starting center. It's not like this is some weird random lineup that they run at the end of games that only gets 3 minutes together a game. This is your starting center, your starting point guard, and your starting shooting guard have played 269 minutes together so far this season. .269 minutes. I mean, they have a 9.8 net rating, which is good. I mean, that's good. And as you can see, everything else is just completely and totally shit. Just when Lively's on the court in general. I mean, Luka and Lively, +5. Luka without the Kyrie or Lively, -8.4. All three of those guys off, -6. Luka and Kyrie with no Lively, -4.6. Kyrie and Lively, +6. Lively without those two, -20. Jesus. Like, I don't... Those three only playing 269 minutes together is fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, let's just... What's a good team that we can talk about? All right, let's just go to Boston. Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. 269 minutes for the Mavs. Let's remember that. Those three have been on the court together 627 minutes. And look, they're plus 11. Like, this is, oh my God, could the Celtics go undefeated at home? Like, oh my God, this is the championship team. This is the best team in the league. Their net rating is only 2 points. I mean, 2 points in net rating is kind of a lot, but their net rating is only 2 points better when those three are on the floor than Luka, Kyrie, and Lively. I mean, dare I look at, like, OKC's? Shea, J-Dub, Chet. Dare I look at them? What are they going to have? 800 minutes together? Yeah, pretty much. 755 plus 11. Plus 11.8. But again, 755. 500 more minutes together. What's the equivalent of that in just games? Okay, let's do some quick math. Over 10, 11 games. 48. Wait. 500 divided by 48. 10.4. There's no way the Suns' big threes played more than that together, right? Oh my God, they have. The Suns' big three has played more minutes together. 100 more minutes together, in fact, than the Mavericks' big three. Who? Keegan Murray? Keegan Murray! 843 minutes plus 5. You see what I'm getting at here? This is fucking insanity, man. You know, it actually might be possible that the new Knicks big three, Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, and Jalen Brunson. Don't tell me you guys have played more minutes. Is it even possible? Don't tell me. Oh my God. How many minutes did the Mavs play? Was it 269? Don't tell me that that's true. I'm about to tweet that right now. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby. How many games has OG Anunoby played? Dude, this is depressing. He's played 14 games. How is that even fucking possible? Yes, and he's missed the last 3 games. Traded for on December 30th. He's missed the last 4 games. Wait, let me make sure I'm right. It was 269 minutes for the Mavs, wasn't it? Just want to make sure I'm right. That hasn't stopped me before from tweeting. I am. Holy shit. And this is what makes it more frustrating, I think, because where do you go? I mean, we can say to the front office, oh, they're not gonna do anything because of the injuries. Well, all right, this feels like a word. This feels like a barrage of words. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, traded for on December 30th, missed the last 4 games, and Julius Randle missed the last 4 games. Have played more minutes together than Luka, Kyrie, and Derek Lively. Is that good? Is that worded correctly? The Mavs are not trading Kyrie. Like, we could talk about it. Well, should they? Because he's not healthy, and they haven't been able to rely on him, and they just need a reliable person. Well, it's not like Kyrie wasn't reliable before this, so they knew what they were going into. I mean, we could sit here and go team by team here. I'm actually willing to guess that this trio has probably played less minutes than any other trio for any other big three. Like, I'm just saying big three in the sense of team, like the team's best three players. I mean, what would you even consider the best three players? I mean, surely there's no way Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell. There's no way they've played more minutes, right? Take your guess. Take your guess. Well, I'm just doing Mobley because he's been injured. Okay, they haven't, but it's close though. They're only 13 minutes behind, and by 13 I mean 16. And Mobley, these guys have missed 2 months, man. We will never know peace. We will never know peace. No, you can't filter since December 1st for this team. Or on play-by-play stats. At least I don't think so. What if Kyrie misses the next 5 games? And here we go. Here we are, guys. We're back to square one. Coach Giannis is cooking us. We need size. Can we put Holmes in? Ew, Holmes. How about we play Grant at the 5? We're back to crying about Rashawn Holmes, folks. What a bad place to be in. Should we at least have to look at the idea of a Kyrie trade? There's just no way they do it, man. You got to look at this from the business side of things. They traded for Kyrie a season ago. Kyrie chose to stay here in free agency. Now, maybe his market wasn't robust, but regardless, chose to stay here. Loves it here. There's simply no way they trade him. In a vacuum, would you trade Kyrie? There's not a single untouchable player on this team. Period. This team hasn't been good enough. This team's not good enough to have untouchable players. Damn, like, OG's been on the Knicks for a month. Like, give or take a few days. A month. Give or take a few days. And they've played more minutes together as a trio than Luka, Kyrie, and Lively. Fuck, man. And yeah, I do. That's actually a great... I actually am interested to see how many minutes those three have played together since December 1st. Lively, like I said, there's not an untouchable player on this team. I'm sorry. If a team busted down the door and said, hey, we'll trade you 20 picks, and like 5 great young players, I'd be like, you know what, man? What's the direction of this team realistically? No, they would never do it. Okay, can I do a quick little aside here, just because I've seen this pop up on Twitter a bunch, and it pisses me off. The amount of crying I saw that this was called a foul. What the fuck is Kuminga doing? Yeah, this is a foul. What is he doing? Why? Why are you continuously slapping him? Warriors fans are like, dude, what? I can't believe that the league wants to see us lose. Why is he slapping him continuously? Why is he slapping him? Don't slap him. You got no reason to slap him. Just touching him. You have no reason to continuously slap him. Slap one. Like, what are you even doing? And all the Warriors fans were like, yeah, Trey couldn't even believe it. Trey thought the foul was on him. No. Trey saying, yeah, what the fuck? Of course that's a foul. Like, have you guys... Trey is saying here, like, yeah, thank you. Call the foul. That's what Trey's expression is. I'm sorry. I was in bed last night and I was seeing tweets about this and I couldn't believe it. I was like, are we kidding? Like, what is he doing? What is he doing right there? And look, that coach was like, what the hell is he doing? Like, I couldn't believe everyone was so upset about that. Why is he doing that? Sorry. That like had me actually angry. The ref's like, all right, dude, the first 3 slaps, we'll let slide. I can't let the 4th slap slide. Warriors so used to a good whistle, they can't believe when stuff gets called. I mean, it's funny because Warriors fans get so mad about like Steph getting beat up and him not getting fouls, and maybe that's true. But don't like you have to realize you guys have built your entire franchise pretty much around illegal screens. It is true, you guys have. Okay, the movement offense is beautiful. Steph's the greatest off-ball player in the history of the sport. An endless motor on that end. But yeah, you guys built your entire offense around illegal screens. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys want me to say. At some point, they'll get healthier. Well, we are at the 50 game mark. Like we're running out of time. The team is running out of time. It's like, oh well, Lively's getting surgery on his nose on Monday. Okay, so he's out for Monday. I would have to assume he's out for Tuesday then, right? So are we gonna get healthy at any point? Are we gonna get healthy at any point? Like Kyrie's thumb injury, man. We can't play through that. I know Kyrie wants to play through it and stuff, but is it an injury that can get worse? Is it an injury that can get worse? If the answer to that question is yes, then okay. If it's just like a pain tolerance, like it doesn't really feel good shooting. Man, we can't get out there. Like we're treading water. Like we need to start winning. I'd get it if we were 10 games above 500 and kind of a little comfortable, but we're treading some water here, man. We're drowning. I'm not getting mad for waiting at a guy for waiting until he's healthy. True. Yeah, Lively's injuries have just been freak injuries. And then you do have this, too. Luka Doncic said he felt a pop in his already sore right ankle when it got twisted under him. Hold on, I need to see something. I need to see one more thing. There's no way, right? Before I click it, there's absolutely no way. How many games did John Morant play? 5? There's no way, right? It ain't too far off. 182. It ain't too far off. Why is that not far off? Because 269 minutes is insane. Let's just do some math here. 269 minutes. Let's just say those three played, I don't know, what's like normal starters minutes? Like 36 minutes. That's 7 games. Luka Doncic said he felt a pop in his already sore right ankle when it got twisted under him, and Giannis Antetokounmpo landed on him. We'll see tomorrow. Ankle strength flexibility is an emphasis of Doncic's conditioning work, so it's better than if I did it last year. He's literally killing himself out there. For what? For us to lose by 12 points every night? Like, Jesus, it's depressing, man. It is depressing. He played 42 minutes last night after it looked like he had a fucking season-ending injury in the first quarter. This is sad. "42 minutes. This shit's unsustainable." Because guess what's going to happen? Let's just say Kyrie and Lively get back. Luka's going to be worn out. It's going to be over. We're gonna hit the point of no return for Luka, who currently leads the league in minutes per game. In minutes per game, not in total minutes, because he has missed some time, but in minutes per game, he leads the league. He is almost at 35 points per game. So we are going to get, assuming Embiid misses a bunch of time and doesn't qualify, Luka will be the scoring champion this season, and it'll be one of the best scoring seasons in the history of the sport. It is really funny to me that Luka's averaging 34.8. How much is Joel averaging? 35.3. So a 0.5 difference. And I was listening to the Low Post yesterday, and he was like, we're witnessing maybe the greatest scoring season of all time from Embiid. And I'm like, I wonder what happens if Luka catches up. Is it still the greatest scoring season of all time? 64% true shooting for Embiid. 62 for Luka. I'm curious how many minutes Luka is averaging per game in the season leading up to the Western Conference Finals run. 35.4. He's always been like a pretty big minute player. 2 additional minutes is kind of crazy. Especially like, when was the last time he played? 37 is his minute per game. Is average. When was the last time he even played that? Let's look. January 17th against the Lakers. He played 36 minutes. I mean, this is just crazy. Since then, 39, 38, 44, 46, 43, 42. Damn, you know that off the rip? Oh, okay. I said that because I didn't just know that off the top of my head. I was on this page on a different tab. I was like, Luka 2019. Yeah, he played 33 minutes a game. $33 minutes per game. That feels like a fever dream. This is why guys get hurt so much offensive load, and then on defense there's no size, so they have to hustle hard. So Iztok made a good point about Kuzma, that he's not solving your biggest glaring weakness defensively, and that you just need physical players. I mean, Kuzma's bigger. Kuzma has been a good defender at points in his career, so it's not like it's going to come out of nowhere. But the Mavericks have no physical defenders. I don't think that should dictate whether or not they go after a guy like Kuzma, because you could probably figure out the physicality aspect of what you're looking for in other trades. Get a capable defender, not a 6'9" scorer with attitude. I mean, the problem is you do kind of need more offense now. Like, it's actually become a problem. Of course, because so many guys have been fucking hurt, but it's actually become a problem now, your offense, because you can't. I mean, living and dying by the three like this, it's not sustainable. You even see it. It's like within the games now. Are they shooting more threes than they ever have before? No, not accuracy, frequency. 42%. Last year was higher, 44%. But man, this is just like ESPN. Bro, Kid said he only runs plays for Luka and Kai, so I don't know how we're going to get back to 100%. We have 3-point guards. The two of them are injured. What do we expect? Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying with the injuries. Like, offense has become a more glaring weakness now. Like, you need more people who can do things. Yeah, Exum's injury history is bad. Is Kyle Lowry a buyout option? One of those older guards, if they get bought out, could be interesting. Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry. The problem is like, are the Mavericks going to be desirable, even like a guy like Gordon Hayward? Are the Mavericks going to be a desirable buyout destination, though, for any of these guys? Minimum not shooting player, Freak Jones Jr. was shooting way over his head this first month. Grant was prime Klay Thompson during that time, and injury-prone Exum is injured. Minimum not shooting player, Freak Jones Jr. Oh, Derek. What do you think if we got Wiggins and Denny? Would definitely change the outlook of this team. So those oh no, I don't even want to entertain Kyrie trades. Kuzma, Gafford, and Denny. The Wizards tell you to go fuck yourself. I don't even think they can trade Rui, can they? Trade for Rui? What's the rule there? If you trade a player, when can you trade back for him? They need Kyrie back in the worst of ways. They need Kyrie and Lively back in the worst of ways. We can literally just go down the list and look at how many minutes the other team's best three players play together. And it would be a depressing sight. it would be a depressing sight. We need confident offensive players or a big defensive four. You need a reliable number 3 option on offense, which is why I would be kind of okay with the Kuzma trade. Which is why I would be kind of okay with the Kuzma trade. Yeah, and then Isaiah Stewart could be interesting. Like, I'm just trying to imagine scenarios where you get a more defensive-minded 4 with Kuzma. I don't know if I love Kuzma playing the 3. I was just thinking Luka, Kyrie, Kuzma, like Isaiah Stewart, and Lively. Like, what does that starting 5 look like? Yeah, I don't love Kuzma playing the 3 at all. Or what about, would this even be possible contractually? What about Luka, Kyrie, Wiggins, Kuzma? Isaiah Stewart isn't interesting. He has the IQ of a table lamp. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like head over heels for beef stew, but the thing he does provide for the Mavs would be the actual physicality. Let's look at Josh Green's on-off stat. Minus 2.3. So the team is worse when he's out there. My God, man. The Mavs defense is 7 points worse when Tim's on the court. Like, at a certain point, dude. At a certain point, is it even worth it? I know you need his shooting and his offense, but fuck. Team is 10 points worse when Grant's on the court. Ugh. Defense is slightly better when Derek Jones Jr. is on the court, but the offense tanks. Way over Grant for good? No, not for good. I do think he's playing a little over his head. I think I think he makes more sense if you make some legit roster upgrades and he becomes more of your 8th or 9th guy instead of like your 6th or 7th guy. But, you know, the Rangers might not have that luxury. They're not going to cut Grant Williams. It doesn't work like that. Why is the Mavericks defense 13 points per 100 possessions better when Seth Curry's on the court? What's the reasoning for that? Seth plays against scrubs. Yeah, that's probably it. But I'm pretty sure cleaning the glass filters out garbage time, but they might not do it for individual player plus minus. I think I have kind of reached a point with Omax. While I don't think he's ready yet, where I kind of have reached a point where I'm like, is there really could his minutes really be worse than Grant Williams? Could he be worse for Grant Williams? What's something hopeful that will help me get through this day as a Dallas sports fan? I mean, the hopeful stuff is this right here. The Mavericks, like when the Mavericks' 3 best players play, they're good. Like they're legit good. Now you can maybe make the argument that, hey, you know, not a lot of minutes, so the plus minus can swing a bunch of different directions, but You got to send the Wizards more. You got to send the Wizards a pick. Maybe what could happen here is the Warriors are sending some seconds to get off of Wiggins. You reroute those to the Wizards, and maybe the Wizards can find another home for Tim Hardaway Jr. where they get like a pick or something. Oh man, it's just like I can't believe we're so close to the trade deadline. Like it does not feel like it. Usually around this time last year, Kyrie got traded. Was the Kyrie trade a year ago today? Because it was the Sunday right before the trade deadline. Unrealistic kite trade. It just ain't happening. I don't even want to look at Kyrie trade. The more I look, the more Kyrie trade is impossible. I mean, they're not trading Kyrie anyways. Like, they're just not doing it. And they shouldn't. I mean, they shouldn't. Unless they're getting like a guy who could be a great number two, they shouldn't do it. Because Kyrie can be. It can't stay healthy. You cooked? Well, let's see. Mavericks get Kuzma and DeLon Wright. A lot of Mavs fans will shit on you for wanting DeLon Wright back. I'd gladly take him back. Rashawn Holmes, Robert Covington, Korkmaz, Seth, 2 firsts. Sixers aren't trading a first for Tibby. I would love DeLon Wright back. I don't give a shit. KB trade fucked us over. I can't believe we're still paying for the KP trade, man. I can't believe it. That's insane to me. That happened pre-pandemic, and we are still paying for it, paying for the sins of the KP trade. That doesn't even sound feasible. Wonder what Nico is up to right now. Probably on the golf course. 6'5" guard with no defense and can't shoot. That's Mavericks winning formula right there. Wait, who are you talking about? Are you talking about DeLon Wright? No. DeLon Wright can play some defense, man. DeLon Wright's like one of the better perimeter defenders in the sport. Can he shoot? No. But this is why I do push back. Like when people say that this team's worse than they were a year ago. I mean, statistically they are. So But they've dealt with so many injuries, man. So many. Should Luka give Mark Cuban more time to ruin his career? Just asking. That's a hilarious follow-up message. Just asking. This team itself is definitely not worse than last year. No way. No, definitely not. If we somehow manage to miss the playoffs, I think it's safe to say it's time to worry about Papa Doncic. If the Mavericks miss the playoffs, I'll say this right now. If the Mavericks miss the playoffs entirely, I'm sorry. So I just saw something hilarious. If the Mavericks miss the playoffs entirely, I'm doing an 8-hour Luka mock trade stream. So our two scenarios for 8-hour Luka mock trade streams are Karl Anthony Towns gets traded to the Mavericks, and the Mavericks miss the playoffs again. One of those two. Report: Utah Jazz keeping a very interested eye on Luka Doncic's situation in Dallas. Yes, I remember that. I remember that fucking tweet. You think Luka's on a Dirk type of timing? I do think it's different for these international guys, especially guys like Luka who go back home in the summer and they care a lot about the Slovenian national team. Like I think it does matter to them, their NBA home, but it is definitely different. Now we could be wrong. Like I hope that there's at least, if he is on Dirk timing where it's like I'm just kind of comfortable here. Like that's what matters to me more than anything. Ultimately, like a place where I just feel comfortable at whenever I'm here in the States. I hope there's at least some pressure on the front office. He's definitely not a KD type. I mean, KD's a rare occurrence in the NBA of a guy who just leaves all the time. Who's worse, Harden or KD in terms of jumping ship and leaving? Yeah, Harden's definitely worse, right? I actually think KD's worse. The Warriors move is just unbelievable. Like that is, well, I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again. Harden went to the Nets, realized, oh, this situation is fucked. Then went to the Sixers. And yes, him leaving the Sixers is a bad look, but Harden's is bad because he does demand trades, and KD has left in free agency every time except the Phoenix time. I don't know, man. The more we talk about the Mavericks, and then we look at some stats, it's like, okay, actually, this isn't like completely fucked. You know? This isn't completely fucked. We see the formula for what works and how they've took steps to get there. Okay, they got the center. It took them 20 years, but they got the center. Okay? I think they've learned something in some of the free agency signings that have worked out. Dante Exum, what did they learn? Well, they needed more point of attack defense, and having another ball handler works. That's why, Luka, Dinwiddie, and Brunson had some success. 3 guys on the floor who could do stuff, and when Luka is doubled, then you have 2 other guys who can do things with the ball in their hands and shoot or attack mismatches or put pressure on the defense when they're scrambling, whatever the case may be. That's why Luka, Kyrie, and Exum have been very successful in their very, very limited minutes that they played together. Okay, so you got that. Hopefully Exum gets healthy, but it's also something to keep in mind moving forward from a roster construction perspective. Derrick Jones Jr. has seen a lot of success, and the Mavs defensively look a lot better when he's out there. All right, so we do need size. This uber-duper small lineup is not fucking cutting it. We need size. Derrick Jones Jr.'s gotten a bit overrated, though. He hasn't been helping us win, really. Yeah, his shooting has fallen off, and it's led to teams. It's led to teams leaving him open for three, which is why the Mavericks are now, what was the stat? 7 points as an offense. 7 points per 100 possessions worse when Derrick Jones Jr. is on the court. So, okay, how do you fix that? Well, we need a big four who can help us out defensively and offensively. That has to be your next guy. Whenever you're trading for the number 3 guy, it has to be a 4 who's actually big. Did the Mavs do this? What the fluff is this? I think Josh being long-term 3. No, he's too small. Get the small shit's done. It ends this year. It ends. It's over. You can't have these uber-duper small lineups anymore. Cut it out. Okay? You're like 5 years too late. The small ball shit was kind of cool for a little bit. The only reason why it was even really remotely cool, and I guess the Mavericks don't realize this, is the small ball 5 works when everyone else on the court is like rangy wings that can all switch around. That's when it works. It doesn't work. Like, small ball doesn't mean 4 small guards. And then, like, I don't know, a Grant Williams or something. I see the vision of 3 guards. Luka's 6'8", 240. 3 guards is a different story than 4. Who are the winning players we're keeping here for next season, and what scrubs we're sending to Guangdong, China? Would love to see Exum back. Lively, obviously. Dwight Powell. The Mavericks being 6.5 points better when Dwight Powell's on the court is just hilarious. I do want to keep Josh Green around. He's been playing much better basketball lately. Tim can go. Hardy could go in a trade. Derrick Jones Jr., I would like to see him stick around. But him be more of a 7th or 8th guy. Or maybe even a 9th guy. Holmes can go. Maxey can go. You just can't rely on him. Grant could go. I've reached that point. Would love to keep Exum. Would absolutely love to keep Exum. The eye test matches Dwight Powell's numbers, to be honest. Yeah, Dwight Powell's giving you some good minutes this year. I mean, there's no two ways around it, really. Also, having 3 shooting guards that can finish at the rim consistently is crazy based on the type of players J. Kidd likes. Oh, they can't finish at the rim? The Chicago Bulls and Detroit Pistons were reportedly discussing a deal centered around Zach LaVine for Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Harris. The Bulls and Pistons had engaged on trade talks centered on LaVine. League sources had previously confirmed one of the latest iterations. League sources said focused on Bojan and Joe Harris, although one source indicated no deal is imminent. Jesus Christ. Damn, did he really hurt his say, hey, I'm taking the surgery, don't trade me to Detroit, I'm out for the season? Is that really what happened? Oh, man. Man. Whenever they're healthy. I'm back in this shit is annoying. Yeah, I agree. Getting mad at this is just weird in my opinion. It's just kind of weird to get mad at that, I think. It's weird to say because of how bad we've been, but I think 169 good forward dramatically changes this squad. Yeah, I mean, yes. Yes. Dramatically. Would anyone be mad? Kai cool with everyone? No, people were mad about that on Twitter, like very mad. Trade for Jada McDaniels? Ain't happening. Thoughts on Nick Richards in a PJ trade? I guess it'd be fine for more size. I don't really think Nick Richards is that good. And I gotta be real with you, trading a first for PJ Washington does not excite me very much. What, Finn? Wait, why was Desmond Bane at the game last night? That's weird. Why was Desmond Bane at the Mavericks Bucks game? Probably at TCU for a ceremony? Probably. You guys hear that? You guys hear this guy? Nick Richards has the worst plus minus in the league. Well, he's also on a shit team. Shit team and usually coming off the bench for said shit team. Not a good combination for having a good plus minus. Everybody. You smell so good. Finn, tell us, what would you do to fix the Dallas Mavericks? I would fucking trade for Nikola Jokic. Right. There you have it. Make him the GM. That's the voice I give my cat. He's like, kind of sounds like a smoker. Like somebody who's smoked a lot of cigarettes and they're kind of weaning off of it, but they still smoke. But it's kind of affected their voice. You think we even make trades? I do think they make trades. Now, my concern is it going to be something small along the edges that they don't have to give up a lot for just to say they did it? Which would be more so where I'm leaning. And like maybe like a cost-saving trade or maybe to accumulate some future assets down the road. Or is there a panic trade in the pipeline? That's what terrifies me. Are we getting a panic trade? Did you see him smile after they asked him about the trade deadline? I did. I don't know what to take from that because Tim McMahon was the one who asked the question. So Luke in his head could be thinking, this guy wants me to fucking say something so bad. Like this guy wants me to say, like, yeah, we need to trade our shit team. Gotta start winning games soon. And look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. These next two games, they absolutely have to be wins. Sixers on Monday night. No Embiid, obviously. Nets on Tuesday night. I know it's a back-to-back. I know that sucks. A back-to-back with travel. That does suck. You have to win these two. You have to. If you go 1-1, that sucks. If you lose both of those, holy shit. If you lose both of these games, you might have lost me. I think I'd be ready to pull the plug. If you lose both of these 2 days before the trade deadline, I might be ready to pull the plug on the whole shit. I feel like we keep saying that though. Yeah, but it's like progressively getting worse though. Look at this, man. This is depressing to look at. It really is. Kyrie should be back tomorrow. You would hope. Who knows? No, this isn't the Pistons results, fortunately. It's kind of funny because this game got postponed against the Warriors, which led to what was it, a 5-day break? And everyone was like, oh, okay, they're getting a rest. They're getting a much-needed break. Thank God. Like, they really needed this. And since then, they have gone 2-5. Kyrie load managing the Brooklyn game after 2 weeks off is not going to be fun. No, there's no way. Ain't no way. All right, well, that'll do it for me today. We spent the whole time talking about the Mavericks. I don't think we talked about other NBA results at all, huh? Steph dropped 60 in a loss, so there's been 3 60-point games this season. Obviously, 2 70-point games, but 3 60-point games, all 3 leading to losses. Just kind of interesting. As the Warriors lose yet again. Another great performance from Mr. Trae Young. I think I might do a video on Trae today. I might do a video on Mr. Trae. Kings beat the Bulls. However, I do want to point out that the Kings had a 30-point lead in this game. That at one point got shrunk down to, I think, 3. But they still do pull out the win. Fox drops 41. Lakers beat the Knicks. So the Lakers, who were dead in the water, a game below 500, with the Celtics on the road, the Knicks on the road. Season might be over. We're doing LeBron trade rumors. Is LeBron want out? Like, is LeBron going to request a trade? What has to happen? They go on the road against the best team in the league in the Boston Celtics, a team that looked like they could go undefeated on the road this season. And they win that game without LeBron, without Anthony Davis. And then a couple days later, go on the road against the Knicks, who are the best team in the league in the month of January, and beat them on the road. With upcoming games against Charlotte, Denver, New Orleans is tough, but some winnable games in the future for the Lakers. That was a great win last night for them, man. Their defense looked great. And the Cavaliers continue their scorching hot pace, winning again. Zach Collins and Donovan Mitchell got in a fight. Victor Wembanyama plus 10 in a 16-point loss. And we today we have a pretty busy slate of games. We got the Magic and the Pistons, Suns and Wizards, Bradley Beal's return to Washington, Grizzlies and Celtics. The Celtics are 18.5-point favorites. Holy shit. Pacers, Hornets, Clippers, Heat, Rockets, Timberwolves, Raptors, Thunder, Bucks, Jazz, Trailblazers, Nuggets. So not a lot of bangers, but not a lot of bangers, but a lot of games. All right, guys.